flow and go and go and go crazy and go crazy and go crazy and go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the old to LA. Go crazy like a dum-dum. Eastside homeboy where I come from. Dance on the floor till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no red rum. This is O City. All the way to the bay. Hit the base, feel me. Catch a case cause it's beating up yo Chevy. Get you moving side to side, getting all sweaty. Make it work it out. Turn the volume up loud. It's a dry crowd. Make it all shout. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and now I'm ready. Like a quarterback, Tom Brady. Catch it all in the frenzy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to
Y'all better listen to Trey. He just told us we are a go right on time at 8:03, and it is time to go ahead. It is time to go ahead and get this party started. We are so glad that you have decided to slide on in here to the Scoop and chill out with us for a little bit so we can have this good conversation. You know, stretch your brain a little bit, make you giggle a little bit, make you think a little bit, you know. We got a little bit for all the people tonight. So we are very, very glad that you have decided to join us. And if you are new here, I want to tell you a little bit about how we do things. Okay. You know, I would not be a good hostess if I did not get you acquainted with these here house rules. Okay. So first of all, we want you locked in to all of the social media networks because, you know, we know you're going to enjoy this show. You are not going to want to miss another show. And we have like some dope replays. Okay. So like if you got to go and do something or in the future, you can't be here right at 8, don't trip. Okay. Because like at 10, you can see the replay. Okay. We got you. So to do that, we need you locked in and loaded on all of our social media sites, which are on YouTube. You can follow us at The Scoop Show. You can follow us on Facebook at Real Scoop Show and on Instagram at Scoop Radio Show. You can click in, you can hit all the bells, do all the notifications, all the follows, the thumbs, do all of the things so that you never miss a show no matter where you are, okay? Do that for us. And once you get locked in, go ahead and hit that comment section. Tell us where you are viewing from, okay? We like to know just how far and wide our reach actually goes from week to week. And when you tap in that way, it helps us to get a feel for where you are tuning in from. Aside from that, we ask you to share. That is the last thing. Share. Please let your people know where you like to hang out, where you get your information, where you get your brain stretched and your conversation itch scratched, because that is right here at The Scoop. So please go ahead and hit that share button and let people know where you are chilling out at. Actually, there's a bonus. Enjoy the show, y'all. We really, really, really want you to enjoy the show. So to do that, go ahead and tap in the comment section, not just for where you are tuning in from, but we want to know what you're thinking, okay? This isn't just me and Win chit-chatting and throwing memes up here on this here screen. This is an interactive conversation with you and me and he, everybody, okay? So yeah, we're getting ready to have a good show. Win, how are you, sugar?
I'm good. Yeah, readjusting, obviously. But the summer is here, so
yes, sir. Yes, it is in full effect.
My boy is here. The band is back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. How are you?
sleepy, incredibly so.
Yeah.
It will not take the second hour for me to start yawning, so I forgive me in advance, y'all. It's not the show. I'm tired today.
Yeah, you got that sleepy, you know. When Q get tired, she get the Chinese eyes.
Oh my goodness,
So
it's so
she
bad.
was very no offense to any of my Asian brothers and sisters. It's just she get real.
It's very noticeable when I'm sleeping. My rebooting happens in my eyes first. Like it's weird.
She about to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
About to go to sleep.
Yep. But I'm in here. I got my Pepsi. I just cracked it open right before we got, so I got my caffeine. The water was not working, so y'all don't come in here and tell me about some water because it wasn't doing it. So yeah, we're gonna get this caffeine boost real quick.
You good?
So my crash can settle in.
Besides being sleepy, you good?
Yeah. We out here. One foot in front of the other.
That's how we do it. All right. What's going on, Nita? Talking about some shit from Indy. All right. What's going on?
Hey.
Good to see you.
I'm loving this profile. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
I don't even know what you do, but I'm gonna go check when the show is over. I want to see.
She is if you need your insurance, your annuities, that's who you go to.
Okay. Alyssa. Hey, Alyssa. Hey, sis. How you doing, baby?
Where you been?
Right.
Where you been? I know you got to work. I know she said she had to work or something on Tuesdays now. That's all right. All right. So, yes, Alyssa, we're glad to have you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
You ready to do this? You ready to do this? All right.
Yes, on this roller coaster of hot topics we got tonight. Lord have mercy. Up and down. Forwards and backwards.
We did not choose these. Of course, these are always by the group. The group chooses these, and we literally take the ones that have the most comments, and we. Not that these are bad.
Mm-mm.
They're not bad, but.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into this real quick. So, of course, before we get into it, hot topics are always brought to you by Bob Shamrock. Bob Shamrock is the Black-owned gas station owned by our very own Kels in Oklahoma City. So, if you are Oklahoma City, go ahead and stop by Bob's. And as they say, pull up and fill up. So, pull up, fill up your gas tank, and fill up your stomach with the wonderful chicken and fish and barbecue.
I know it's summertime. We love our barbecue in the summertime.
And so holler at them. It's real deal. So y'all support Bob Shamrock, Oklahoma City, 2901 Northwest 10th Street, which of course is across from the fairgrounds in Oklahoma City. So y'all support Bob's and our favorite Black-owned gas station in Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. If y'all haven't hit the share button, and of course, y'all, we want to hear your comments.
That's side.
This first one. All right, here it is. So this is a conversation between, obviously, two wannabe couple. I will call it whatever. Here it is. So he asked, do you have a lot of male friends? And she says, I have some. I keep more women around me. My friends are like 70-30, 70% female, 30% male. Why do you ask? He says, because I have to be the only alpha to be with me, like that. You can't have male friends. She says, oh, okay. Then we won't work. Good luck. He says, so you're going to miss out on a lot of men because of that. No man's going to put up with women with male friends. You have to learn how to let them go. She says, get some help. End of conversation. Well, he was about to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, he's still talking.
He was about to say something, though. So.
Of course, he's still talking. He's the kind of man that would still be talking.
He has to get in the last word.
Yeah, because he's the alpha.
Yeah, listen. We gonna. This is gonna be real hot. Yeah. Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we choosing violence on this Tuesday. we choosing violence.
Oh, Q, go first. Ladies first.
I think she handled this extremely well. For the fact that we don't see any laughing faces, no curse words, no none of that. She just says, "Go get some help." These types of men completely turn me off, but then they tickle me at the same time because like they think a lot of themselves and they never give other people an opportunity to tell them that they think they're great because they go out of their way to remind you so often how manly, how wonderful, how powerful, how successful, how insert awesome adjective here they are. You know what I mean? So it's like it's so to me, the fact that you don't want other men around with all of that other stuff just means you can't be challenged. Like you can't let me see anything else because you know what I mean? So like it's ew. Like this is very ew energy. This is little D energy to me. So I'm out. Like I can't. But y'all know this about me. Y'all know this type of dude irks the ish out of me. And I would have probably ended up telling him to get some help also after a whole bunch of other stuff. This would have tickled me. I probably would not have ended this as classily as her. Not right now. Like not right now. Just full disclosure. He came in way too hot to not get like, you know what I mean? To not be like, he needs some sass in response with all of this extra energy he's bringing. I'm sleepy, y'all. Go ahead, Wiz. Please talk so I can stop.
So I try to, for the record, I just want to say I try to use I want to stick up for men, but I have to to me foolishness is just foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
This is foolishness. Mm-hmm. This is one of those things where it's like I understand. So okay, I understand. Like, do you have a lot of male friends? I get. You know what I mean? Like, I get wondering, like the wondering of male friends because we know that male friends sometimes really ain't real friends. Like, I get all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like you didn't even get to that point.
Yeah,
you didn't get to find out these friends. It's just like, nope, can't have other because I have to be the only alpha. First of all, it's like that just doesn't make sense because if you are a true alpha male, you coming in the room is going to, at the worst case scenario, you and the other alpha males will have y'all thing.
Alpha male moment, yeah.
The alpha male is going to be the alpha male in that setting. Mm-hmm. How that goes. So it's almost as if you're not really confident in your alpha maleness because you have to be the only alpha male in the room, like just. Or in her world, and so now she has to, not have only beta male friend. Which then again, which we'll talk about more later, bothers me because now it's like, I don't know any alpha males who walk around calling themselves alpha males.
Not anyone believe them,
and I don't understand how this. I'm not going to. Okay, now we'll talk about it in a second now. But just this whole, just let it be known that this whole idea of what an alpha male is completely not what an alpha male is, and
the fact that he's still asking her about her male friends lets you know this is far too soon for you to be telling me what I can't have. If you are still asking fact-finding questions about basic fact-finding questions like this, you are in no position in my life to tell me what I cannot have, what I now need to cut off for you. We're not there yet. You still figuring me out.
Had she have said, "Oh, okay,"
I would have said she was crazy.
So then what? Then I'd be like, "What's wrong with her?" At that point, because now this is a relationship with, there's no conversation around it. It's just. Did
he even pay any attention to her number? She's 70-30. Like she says flat out, I have more women around me than I do men, but I do have a few male friends. Even that, the fact that she's got an understanding of, the the ratio. Like, yeah, I do have male friends, but there's more women around me than it is. But that lets me know she even acknowledged, even like what you said at the beginning of this. Like, there is a reason to ask the question. You know what I mean? She didn't come at them sideways for answering the question. She answered it well. You know what I mean? So like, I just don't understand how we get met with all of that. How they get met with all of that. It was a wow for me. It was a wow. Wasn't paying any attention. And still talking. You still ain't read nothing.
Yeah, it's just I think that when I see stuff like this, I want to say, I grow up. Because this is not what we do. This is not what mature men do. Again, if you have a problem with if you're with somebody and they have a male friend that is inappropriate, or they're not staying within the boundaries, then I think then that is totally acceptable, and you should, I think, address it. You should say something. But to say that you have to be the only alpha, the only male in her life in order to be with you says that either you have experienced a relationship where an outside male or outside males were influencing your partner to the point where she was, questioning you, or maybe and that's a possibility, or you're very super insecure. Either way, that's a discussion that you have with the person who you are in the relationship with. Listen, I've had experiences where the person I was with has had male voices in her ear who have turned her and put her in a position where she's misunderstood things that I was trying to do or say. And so too many males in a relationship make me uncomfortable for that reason.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
That's it. So if I'm saying that I have an issue with male friends, this is why. And also, or, I had an incident where this was the same scenario, and come to find out they were really sleeping together. You know what I mean? Or he really was just waiting in line to be with her. And so any person she was with, he tried to sabotage that relationship, and low-key was trying to have sex with her. That's, to me, is acceptable. But that to me is a mature response to this issue. Not, you can't have any other man in your life because I got to be the only alpha.
Yeah. No, sir.
It's immature. So, and she handled it well. So she handled it very well. Yeah, she handled it well. I got nothing. Let's see, comments. Yeah, I agree. Alyssa said, it's got to be, yeah. I forgot who said that, but I laughed at
Shanae.
Shanae said
Shanae,
that was hilarious. I would agree. Shanae, self-proclaimed alpha. Most men that are truly alphas don't have to broadcast it. What's understood does not need to be explained. Absolutely. Yep. Said, wow, you hit it on the head. Q. Absolutely. So just like self-proclaimed nice guy aren't usually nice guys. Same with self-proclaimed alphas, usually not alpha males. Yep, that's a good point. Some men play their position and give biased advice. Good point on that. Yep, there are guys who do it all the time. All the time. Or, you know what, or not, and I will say that some of them I've experienced don't necessarily give bad advice on purpose, but they give biased advice. A big part of it is we don't recognize that our friends are going to give us friend advice. Like if you want a biased, you have to get a biased person, an unbiased person to give you unbiased. But if I'm biased, then you got to know that you gonna get it. You know what I mean? Like whatever, because I'm on your team.
Yeah,
so I'm on your team, and it's very difficult sometimes to step back and say, "Hold on, give me the side of the story that you're not telling me,"
or give us or something that makes you dig deeper past your bias. You know what I mean? But I think that's really how you recognize if you have a true friend. Because if you come at me and tell me some surface level stuff and expect me to get all razzle dazzle behind it, because I love you and I know that I want the best for you and how you respond to situations. If you're coming to me for counsel, it's in your best interest for me to dig deeper before I give you some stupid left field advice based on the surface level emotional response. You know what I mean? So like even your biased people need to find a way to remove that so that they can love you better. I think we sometimes only seek out people who will stop us at the surface because we don't want to really see our stuff. And we got to be able to have someone that's going to dig into that a little bit deeper. Because all our people ain't doing that. Like, I think we all have some folks that just love to stay in that happy place of you see no wrong, you do no wrong. I think everybody has one or two of them folks that no matter what you do, you're going to be right. And they have no desire to see the wrong in you, period. You know what I mean? You call them after you talk to your person who will dig to put you back together again.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Am I wrong?
Yes. No.
Short answer.
I'm tired of people asking that. Go ahead.
Hysterectomy is scheduled for June 11th after exhausting other options for the consistent pain and bleeding from my fibroids. I'm obviously a nervous wreck about surgery as well as being barren at 32 with one child. First of all, barren is a real churchy word.
Right.
I'm barren.
So dramatic.
My husband and I have been married for 10 years and have one beautiful child that will turn 5 this month. We've had a tumultuous relationship as of late, and I'm not sure we will remain viable forever. I mentioned to him tonight that I feel he should also have a vasectomy or legally commit to not fathering any more children for the remainder of his lifetime. He has been adamantly opposed to having more babies previously, stating mostly monetary concerns. He's an engineer. I'm a nurse. We do okay financially, but I feel like if I'm making the decision to permanently terminate my ability to bear children, he should agree to do the same.
Still, yeah. She's still wrong. She twisted and turned this situation that is solely dealing with her into a relationship issue. How is this now? She's choosing to do it. No, ma'am. You were in constant pain and had fibroids, so your body chose for you. Your body chose for you, ma'am, because you don't want to hurt no more, period. You're having a tumultuous relationship because you're showing out and you're delusional right now because you're in constant pain and your body hurts. Chill out, okay? Like, chill out. And what does this legally commit? What are you going to do? You going to put him in jail if he has another baby? How does it even work?
How do you legally commit to not having? I wanted to know that. That was my
I married you. I legally committed to not having any more children. If you have a hysterectomy, there's going to be no more babies from us. Period. At the end.
And if you're saying you don't see us being forever viable,
why do I need to make a forever decision?
Why would I legally commit to that?
I'm not doing none of that. I'm not, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm not doing none of that. You crazy? No, I'm questioning all of this now because you got some issues.
I was like,
no. But this is the type of stuff that happens, though. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of those times where you just have to look back. We have seen, or even if not this specific situation, I know some folks who could manipulate and try and maneuver this to be something like that. Okay, so since I don't get to anymore, you don't get to either. Now we have to do this thing together. No. Not for these reasons. I don't agree.
Okay, so let me try to take this another step. Could this be? By the way, she's wrong. Let me just throw it out there.
And not really Shanae. When I think you'll probably figure that out in his response, but not really chose it. Like she had to. When you have that kind of pain and fibroids, like the doctor says you need to get this hysterectomy or you're gonna be in pain. So like that was really just her choice. I mean, that wasn't a choice. That's what she had to do. But go ahead.
I'm wondering if for her this is, I'm being Dre. This is my Andre hat for a second. Is she really saying, I want you to be committed? I feel like that this would like a sign of your commitment to our marriage. The ridiculous sign. But is she trying, like, I wonder if this is like not her, if the issue is she feels insecure in the fact that now that she can't have children, he might want to, and because she can't, he might leave her. So if she's saying, if he says, I'll commit to this, then I won't, then that way she'll feel like, okay, we're still good as a couple.
He can leave you and go be with another woman. Vasectomies can be reversed.
Absolutely.
If he's going to leave you because you can't have any more babies, he's going to leave you because you can't have any more babies.
Right.
You forcing this issue isn't going to make that less of an issue.
I agree. I'm saying, but I wonder if her underlying real reason is some kind of act or some kind of move, because even a legally binding whatever to say he won't have any more kids doesn't mean he won't go out. For her, I wonder if the real thing is, I feel insecure about our marriage, and so you doing this for somehow makes me feel like we're still good in our marriage.
Mm-hmm. It's a sacrifice. You willing to make this big enough sacrifice to me, it means you must be dedicated.
And I bring that up because I think, because to be honest, I see this a lot. When in couples that I counsel, I see this
the vasectomy conversation.
No, because of this, I want you to do this in order to prove or show me that you are as committed, like you're not going to change your commitment to this marriage or to this relationship. I see that a lot, and it's usually one person that something happens, and the other person wants them a sign of their commitment, and so we'll ask them to do something like this that doesn't really, this to me is ridiculous. But
yeah, I think this is too extreme. I don't necessarily see an issue with asking for acts of commitment or an act of a commitment for certain things. You know what I mean? For reasons that make sense and within reason of the situation, but this doesn't make sense to me.
Well, yeah,
she has said this does not make sense to me.
Yeah. And for personal, I don't know if you remember my example about this. So I had this for those who don't know, I had a similar thing happen where I was asked to stop preaching. So it was like, okay, because of this is happening, stop preaching. And so that wasn't like I really don't want you to do that anymore. It was in my mind, it was I'm insecure, not sure about where we are, about your commitment to this relationship. So if you do this, then that proves to me that you don't care more about that than it does that you care about me. So I wonder if that's what this is, a simple situation.
I would put it up there to me that seems just as irrational, because what you do is not just a job.
Absolutely. It was irrational.
So yeah,
I didn't stop either, by the way.
I think I must have blurred this out of my mind. This is probably one of them. Did I black out in the chat when you told me this? Like, did I have one of them? Are you because you were telling this and I'm going, I don't.
That was a while ago. Yeah. It was 7-8 years ago, but yeah. So yeah, that's what made me, it came to mind when that happened. And I remember having conversations with even some of my guys who were like, just do it, like prove it. I'm like,
because it'll be something else. It'll be something else. The next time you'll satisfy that part, and then it'll just escalate to something else. Because in the heart of hearts, like when we ask people to do something like this, we realize that there is some type of desire there. Period. There is a desire there. So when you force someone to stop doing one thing for another thing, in the back of your mind, that there's going to be a replacement. So whatever the new thing is, that's going to be the next thing that gets attacked. That's the next ultimatum is going to be attached to whatever the new joy is. So you have to nip that in the bud. You can't just keep moving
things.
The thing, yeah.
Yeah. I always say insecurity is not the problem of the other person to fix. Like, I'm supposed to help you.
Yeah.
Your personal insecurity is your personal insecurity. So I'm supposed to remove the things that I'm doing that help that, but ultimately that's some person got to fix it their own.
Yeah.
So, all right. Alyssa, you own it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa says, if she's already decided they won't work, why does he have to castrate himself? Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. That's essentially what she said.
Yeah. She chose that. Now she's insecure that she might have another baby from someone else. Possibly. This is my comment of the day. Audacity of 2020 has grown bold in 2021.
It has. It has. Growth spurt.
Absolutely. Yep. The hand she was dealt. And it's unfortunate. Absolutely unfortunate. So she thinks she has a cheater as husband to begin. Possibly. But I mean, to me, then the vasectomy and the thing, whatever thing, ain't going to solve the problem. And it's definitely not going to stop him from being a cheater. So vasectomy probably going to make it worse because now you ain't got to worry about.
And he honestly, if you've gone through, if you know anyone who's ever had the female issues like hysterectomy, the need for a hysterectomy, that year probably before this is happening has been hell. So yeah, she's probably not feeling like he's the most attracted to her or she's the most sexy or they've been getting it in. They have a healthy sex life because you've been sick. But you can't just automatically make him a cheater because your sex life isn't as healthy as it was prior to you being this sick. You know what I mean? So like the way that she's coming at this, I guess, is set it up. So like it's hard for me to believe any of this is as extreme as what it sounds because you just have to, when you really look at the details that she's even given and read between those lines, you're like, sis, what'd he say? Like, I want to know what he say. I want to know what he said.
He probably like,
yeah.
Her asked for vasectomy. So if he cheats, at least they don't get pregnant. She has way more insecurities than not being able to have kids. She doesn't believe he's going to be faithful in the first place. Possibly. But again, the vasectomy only makes that worse. That doesn't make that better.
Right.
That makes it worse.
I can cheat with no consequence now. No babies.
You have to worry about getting a baby, getting pregnant.
Yep.
All right. Dun, dun, dun. So the question on the post was, should a trans person disclose? So if y'all have not heard the story, where'd it go? Heard this story. The story is Virginia Tech football player allegedly kills a man upon discovering that he was not a woman after sexual encounter. Yes. So, what it said, neighbors earlier were reported on the story about Virginia Tech football, who is in some serious trouble after he was arrested in connection with the death of a 40-year-old. It's a trans woman. Mm-hmm. He killed a man after discovering he was not a woman after sexual encounter. The victim family is speaking about their loss. All right. Thoughts? Go ahead.
I think, yes, you should disclose your status to someone that you are dating, especially someone that you feel. I think you should disclose that status, especially after you determine that sexual anything is possibly going to happen. I think that's fair.
Yeah, so I think on multiple levels, it's like on multiple levels, it's the thing to do. Mm-hmm. Number one, because for obviously safety issues, because people are not, in general, our culture is not at a place where where a lot of people are just going, will accept this and be like, okay, you know what I mean, and not so much the fact that they don't accept it, but that they respond violently. That mm-hmm. Some people still respond violently, and so for a safety issue, I think it's something that should definitely be disclosed. Also, if it's an actual person who you want to have a relationship with, then I think for the sake of going into the relationship with, the right way, mm-hmm. it's beneficial to tell the person. So that way, just like in any other relationship, we would say, you don't want to have a ton of secrets going into a relationship or secrets that could potentially down the road in the relationship. Just tell them up front and give that person the right to choose. Mm-hmm. So to me, for those two reasons, I would say, for your protection and safety, yes, tell. And then to make sure that this relationship is not starting off in a position where you now have to cover, because that's a lot, cover this secret, then yeah, tell. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if that person chooses not to want to be in a relationship, or they choose not to want to have a sexual encounter, as the post says, with you.
Right. Because that's even vague. That leaves a lot of room for interpretation.
Yeah.
What is a sexual encounter? Some people consider a kiss a sexual encounter. Some people, you know what I mean? So like it's.
Yep. But I think we're still not at a point culturally where you won't even take that chance. Like, don't do that to yourself, because that's just, people are ignorant, and
and people excuse it.
yeah,
It's not even a matter of, because there are things that people know are wrong, and people will somewhere in the world say, yep, that's also wrong. You know what I mean? And it's like, except we understand that we just don't do that. There's still way too much conversation about this issue for you to be chancing it and hoping and praying that the person that you're not telling the truth to won't be one of those folks.
Yep.
Because there are far too many folks who excuse this to risk it.
And that's another one. Yep, I agree. I just don't get like why we're okay with justifying violence.
For this. No, let's call it what it is. We are okay justifying violence for LGBTQ people. We are not always as okay with justifying violence for everybody else. We find far more feelings for others than we do for this particular group of folks right now. Women in this group are like lower. I don't know. I'm trying to, we had this background conversation about this, but it's not just about we just choose violence. That's not it. It's not, I'm mad, now I'm just going to go be violent. There's a different conversation around. I know that's not what you're saying, but I'm saying it's not just violence that's the problem with this subject.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I do. I know what you mean. I was making a different point, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail your point.
No, you could. No, I know what you mean, but I agree. I think that we don't, like, with this topic, we're definitely a lot more okay. Like, the justification is a lot more okay. So yeah, because I was just saying, I'm the same person who still keeps saying, your son shouldn't hit a girl if he hit, like, so I'm but yeah, not violent.
I know. I just think that when we reverse it and we switch it around, like, we don't give the same energy to it. Like, we talk about the lie and, that type of thing. But hey, you lied. People lie all the time. There's a justification of a lie, and all time we sit here and justify lies all the time. The time. You know what I mean? That's why, like, in this particular scenario, I would very much like to know the details of the sexual encounter, because I can understand a different level of anger, but I still don't understand getting to the point of killing someone.
I don't care if it was a handhold or it was sex. To me, there's no justification for killing somebody. I don't care if y'all had a whole sexual intercourse. You still don't get to kill nobody.
Yeah.
Period. Was it? I don't know. We don't know, Shanae.
Yeah, that's all the story that we got for that one. I think someone dug deep. Was that story? No, that was a different story. Never mind. Carry on. There's got to be an article somewhere, but I think that's all that particular story had.
Okay. Trying to fix it. All right.
What's this one? This face lets me know that I have waited for
it. This is
funny
to me. Can you see it? Something's coming. Hold on. What's going on here?
We lost you.
Sorry about that. Can you see it now?
I can see you again.
Try to see.
There it is. Oh, Lord.
See? What if men only aimed for the top 10% of women? Would you have a man?
I'm mad at this inflection. Would you have a man? What is that? That's probably how Earl said it, how he thought too when he put it up. And I put, yep, sure would. I think I was the first comment on there. Yep, sure would.
You know what I want to say about this one, right?
Yeah. This is that high quality. What is it? High value. Yeah. What is the dairy salmon? Straight up. Yeah.
That's how I feel about that. What?
I think men do only aim for the top 10% of women. They aim for the top 10 within whatever hood they're in. Whoever the best chicks are within their realm and reach, that's who they after. Yes, men are very ambitious in their choices. Absolutely. Absolutely. What if? What do you mean? Point them out? Is that what you're asking?
I'm going to tell you something. First of all, men, we are ambitious visually.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, men know their order. Like, men are not stupid. Like, men know. I mean, if you have men, listen, I'm going to tell y'all ladies something. We know. This is why Kevin saying why somebody like a Derek Samuels is so popular. Kevin Samuels, I'm being funny. Why Kevin Samuels is so funny or so popular amongst some groups of men, because he gives men who would not get a top 10% woman the
audacity. You were there.
The audacity to think that he can have one.
Mm.
So, which again is why I don't understand why they care for him, because you just let some man tell you that you don't deserve a top 10% woman. But anyway, nevertheless, men know who is. We might not say it, but know when a woman is out of our league.
Mm.
We know it. We know it. We know the women we attract. We know the women who are interested in us. And we might at times veer out and try to go above our pay grade, but we're not stupid. We're not just like there are women who will never approach me because they don't think that they can. There are men who will never approach you, women, because they know I could never have her. I could never have a woman like her. Mm-hmm. So we're not stupid. We know. Mm-hmm. So if men only aim for the top 10% of women, it'd be a whole lot of single men and a whole lot of single women.
I think I'm dope as hell.
Listen,
and I think that's really what it boils down to. Anybody, everyone likes confidence. So I just think, this whole, which is why I giggle at the whole high value conversation in the first place.
Absolutely.
Because you like what you like. You know what I mean? We got some of the most odd couples ever walking around. Every time you see it, you're going, what? They're the happiest two people you ever would see.
You can't tell me I'm not it gets any better than me. Mm-hmm. He might be a little taller, be a little thinner, but you don't get anything better than this panda right here.
A long time, God knew what he was doing. He couldn't give me all this and make me tall. Like, I'm short for a reason.
If the Lord made me 6 feet tall,
yeah.
I think he purposely doesn't let me get a six pack. If I had a 6-pack and was 6 feet tall,
it's on purpose.
Y'all know.
I think he purposely does it.
And I can sing. Woo!
You say the Lord carves out special time to keep you carved up and away from the house.
Let's keep him away from the 6-pack.
He said no 6-pack for him. He checks back in with your angels. He's still okay. Yeah. Okay. Send him some chicken. Send us some chicken. Anoint that chicken that he just ordered real quick. You
know what? I just don't. To me, I think this is just a weird conversation. Now, if I'm gonna answer the question, let me answer Earl's question. If men did that, again, there would be a whole lot of single men and a whole lot of single women. Just because if women were only looking for the top 10% of men and men were only looking for the top 10% of women. You know what actually might happen? Now I think about it. We might actually have men step up.
If what?
Like if this whole top 10, if we took like the definition, let's use Mr. Samuel's definition of top high value men and say that was the same for women. Or whatever the it was. Maybe we would have people who would step up more, like men who would financially step up more, men who, you know what I mean? Like, man, I don't know.
To be able to attract and hold on to the top 10% of women.
Yeah, because if the women who were only shooting for the top 10% of men, if the numbers were reversed, and like let's just say there were less women than there were men, and so it was a bunch of men fighting over a smaller number of women, maybe it would make men like step up more. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Just thought.
I don't know. I think men they like what they like. This isn't a game. Like, this isn't like matchmaking. You know what I mean? So like this whole way, like not just us, but like in general, the way that our community is discussing worthiness right now is just,
it's bad.
Yeah, it's
bad.
Too much.
It's bad. It's bad. It's detrimental. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's really detrimental to the community as a whole. That's what it is. So
they would choose violence.
You do me a favor. What do you mean? This isn't papers. Yeah. This is a booklet. What? Take that one. Thank you. Take the whole thing. Just take the whole thing. You're whispering like people can't hear you. They can hear you, son. Just say hi. They can hear you.
Hi. Where's the pen?
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, I just need to write something on this.
Okay. Thank you. That's the worst whisper ever. Yeah, you're right, Alyssa. It might be some violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the whole conversation is destructive. I said to some people the other day, I think that the way that this conversation is being played out right now is just as like the way this is happening. Let me not say he, because I don't know him. The way this conversation is happening right now is just as destructive as what Mr. Jackson was doing previously. Stop, son. Okay, there you go. Like him. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So I think it's just as detrimental, and I think it's not beneficial for the overall building up of our community. So,
nope.
All right.
It is not.
Last but definitely not least. So Black Twitter decides it wants to talk about canceling Destiny's Child because of the song Cater to You. Apparently, this is the 20-year anniversary of Cater to You. And so the words of the song are no longer good for culture, I guess.
No, I just don't think they no longer align with the demographic that they originally were released for. This song, if this says 17 years ago, that was 2004. I was 19, 20 in 2004. I rocked with Cater to You. Like, there was nothing at 19, 20 years old. There was nothing wrong with this song. And if you're in a healthy relationship, there's also not a whole lot wrong with the song. Mm-hmm. There are some things that I think lend to some fairy tale ideals of what it really looks like all the time. But I mean, I'll say that, and then I'll get 10 women who will come back and refute me on it. So I'm not going to go there. That's a personal thing. But I think the general basis of the song, we've just outgrown the song. We're almost 40 years old. 40 years old right now. Like Beyonce, Kelly, Michelle, all of them. Like all of us have changed completely from 2004. So no, I'm not canceling Destiny's Child. I'm not. And this song is just not for us no more. It's for the little children who ain't figured nothing out.
I don't really think that we should cancel. I can understand why 40-year-old is saying, hey, some of this thing might be a little too much. I agree with the whole, there might be I can understand I just don't see the problem with the song. Again, if you're in a relationship who, I get it, but baby, I see you working hard. I want to let you know I'm proud. Let you know that I admire all what you do. The more if I need to reassure you, my life would be purposeless without you. They didn't like that one. My life would be purposeless without you. If I want it, got it. When I ask you, you provided. I mean, he clearly is giving her a return what she wants. You inspire me to be better. You challenge me for the better. Sit back and let me pour out my love letter. Let me help you take off your shoes. Untie your shoestrings. Take off your cufflinks. You want to eat? Let me feed you. Let me run your bath water. Whatever you desire.
I supply you.
Sing you a song. Turn the game on. Brush your hair. Put your do-rag on. Foot rub. Manicure. I want it. What? I don't see nothing wrong with this.
The things that they had the most problem with was what you just mentioned, as far as my life will be purposeless without you. And then when you come home late, tap me on my shoulder, I roll over. Baby, I heard you. I'm here to serve you.
Yeah.
They said something about the whole reduction of life revolving around the man is what the folks have the most problem with. Which in this instance, I think we kind of got a little extra. It's a love song. We're gonna exaggerate. We was wanting the stars and the moon, and we know good and damn well we can't have near star and near moon. But we was being promised stars and moons, and we ate it up. So like, I don't know why homie saying she's breathless, or life is purposeless. If you're gonna go through some things if I lose you, is what she's trying to say. Like, my life ain't gonna be the same, homie. Like, I don't know why we're tripping on this. But like I said, we're 40 years old dissecting the words of baby. They was essentially babies when they had
17. Yes. And again, it was supposed it's like you said, every love song has this in it.
The best love songs are exaggeration.
It's supposed like you said, listen, it's poetry.
It's poetry.
Let Beyonce do her poetry. And trust me, every man knows when he tap you that you ain't gonna always roll over. We know. We know it's just poetry.
Did you see Michelle's tweet about that though? She said that was Kelly's promise, not mine. I closed the article by accident. I laughed so much.
But was like, "Oh, really?"
Yes.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
That is not my promise. That was Kelly's promise.
They didn't even marry yet, are they?
No, that's been over.
Yeah. No, but they got back together.
I missed that. Last I heard, sis was in a therapy session or something.
Right. They got back together after that, though. I don't know if they still together anymore, but they.
That was the weirdest situation ever. It seems that's a whole nother story, but that was weird. They were weird. They were awkward to me. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway. No, I agree. No disagreement.
That's why I'm like, why would they do that? They were free. They could do other things. Why would you go back to that?
I just still look now. I gotta look it up. I don't know. Oh, Chad. He's a pastor too.
Yeah.
I better leave us pastors alone. If anybody need to run over, tap whatever. What's her name? Michelle Williams.
Michelle. What'd you say? Are you talking to me? I don't know.
I don't see him on her IG.
Yeah, I think she was working on herself last check with the people.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see him on the IG recently, so maybe they're not together anymore. Michelle was always my favorite singer of the group anyway.
Kelly is my girl, but y'all know I love me some Bae. I like all of them. Like Destiny's Child, they grew with us. Like if you listen to any of their music, any artist who's aged over decades, you've got to think that some of their music is not going to be, if they have music with words, something is not going to, you're going to find something to have an issue with. You're going to find something to take issue with. And, Beyonce's not singing the same songs that she was singing back at the beginning of just Beyonce even. You know what I mean? Like,
She ain't telling y'all to everything you own in the box to the left no more, huh?
she was listen, y'all. If you really listen to the lyrics of some of these Beyonce songs, sis has evolved quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. And she should have.
As she should have. She's lived a very full life. Is living a very full life. But no, I'm not. I think, boo, this one's going to fall flat. I don't think anybody canceling Cater to You. On none of them songs.
Right. All right.
Better call. Right. See? But I mean, they've always written, I think artists like Destiny's Child, Beyonce. I look back at Monica. Monica is one of those artists that has released an album, it seems like, right at the precipice of a new point in my life. She's one of those are the artists that we grew up with. Like, literally, when they came out, they were like our age. You know what I mean? So when they got married, they were around the same times we were thinking, getting, wanting, hoping, wishing, praying of marriage. You know, when they was clubbing, ladies, leave your man at home. Like, everybody was running out of the club. It's full of us. And then we grew the hell up and nobody was in the club no more. You know what I mean? So, like, you're supposed to grow up. You hope to grow up with the folks that you start, you know what I mean, with your artists. That's what makes us love them so much, especially musicians. So, yeah. Boo to this one. I'm out.
All right. All right, that's Hot Topics.
Yes, it is.
That was pretty hot. I'm sitting here sweating. And of course, since I didn't get to do this earlier because I couldn't find it, let me once again, as Q said, remind you guys to follow us on all social media at YouTube, on YouTube at The Scoop Show, on Facebook at Real Scoop Show, and on Instagram at The Scoop Radio Show.
Get in there.
I am the graphic. I said since I couldn't find the graphic earlier. Also, if you guys missed last week's Firestarter, first of all, Fashion Talk last week was absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
Listen to it. But if you do want to get a what's the word she wasn't free, it was complimentary. A complimentary coaching session, meaning your issue would be on the show. You would not necessarily have to be. Then you want to be a part of the Firestarter segment, and email Cicely at firestarterpassion@gmail.com. And she wants to know three things. What's the situation? What have you already done with it? And how can the Firestarter help you? Or what questions do you have? So email her at firestarterpassion@gmail.com in order to be featured in the Dear Firestarter segment. Of course, if you want to advertise with us, then you need to email me or get with me at globaldriveradio@gmail.com. As you can see, we have a promotional package that fit all sizes of budgets. So email me at globaldriveradio@gmail.com, and we can set up a time to talk about your business and how we can partner in advertising. That's it. Yeah, you got it.
All right. Well, we are going to, so I guess I have more or less an announcement. So if you have been following Elegance by Design in our posts over the last few weeks, you know that we are about to debut a new product, the Revive and Shine Hair and Scalp Balm. I am having issues with my website right now. I cannot get this particular item. There's actually 2 items that I'm trying to get loaded. It will not allow me to upload it. So if you've been waiting for those items, please be patient with me. I am working on it. Got to tick it out. I think it's an update that needs to happen, but just wanted you all to know that. In the meantime, you can still order from the website. It is working. I just can't do what I need to do. So if you are still looking for amazing hair and skincare products for your entire family, you can visit Elegance by Design with the Z.com. That's DEZIGN.com. to get hooked up with all the good stuff. And I will share as soon as it goes live on the Scoop page and Scoop group, all the good places. So bear in mind, keep that in mind. All right. Now we're going to get into it. When are we going to play this 1 minute silliness? Yes. Okay, so tonight.
Oh, hold on. There you go. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, we could talk about the braid bomb. Yes, it is box braid season, y'all. You guys, if you have been tuned in over the past few weeks, you have heard me speak about this particular product. This is one of my faves when it comes to twists, when it comes to puffs, ponytails, braids, locks. I retwist my locks with this product. It is amazing. It is available at elegancebydesign.com. It is one of those holy grail products. If you are a braider, you want this in your hair bag, ma'am, sirs, whoever's. Please give this product a try. You will not be disappointed. Elegancebydesign.com. Thank you. Appreciate that. Feel my visual. All right. So tonight's main topic, our second half of our conversation, we are talking about what is the essence of a man father, like our men influences, our male influences in our lives, because it seems like that we have been discussing masculinity, womanhood, but especially masculinity to ad nauseum. You know what I mean? We are redefining over and over and over again what manhood looks like and how it presents and how it shows up in relationships and all that other stuff. So tonight we kind of want to get into it. And it's brought to you by this enthusiastic gentleman to my right, probably your left. He is telling the men how to dominate their women in a quick 1-minute video. Let's press play. Let's see what he's talking about.
Women are wildly attracted to a dominant man. They cannot resist him. So I'm going to give you 3 tips that you can implement to dominate your woman in your relationship. Number 1, direct her. Don't ask her. What I mean by that is this. Let's say you want a glass of water, and instead of saying, hey babe, do you mind bringing me a glass of water? You say instead, hey babe, I need you to bring me a glass of water. Little subtleties like that really matter. Number 2, take the lead and be decisive. A perfect example that I'm sure you guys can relate to is the what do you want to eat dilemma. When this happens, you take the lead and be decisive and say, hey, look, we're going to get taco. And if she says, I don't want to eat tacos, you look her dead in her face and say, well, I'm going to go eat some tacos. Put your shoes on and let's go. Number 3, stand up for yourself and always check bratty behavior. Women are really turned on by the brat tamer. If you want to really step your attraction game up, then click the link in my bio. Turned on by the brat tamer. If you want to really step your attraction game up, then click the link in my bio.
Why you go back to the brat tamer? So listen, I didn't watch this video at all. I have purposely scrolled past this video in the group since it was posted. Okay, I did not know that the ladies love a brat tamer.
Now you know.
Oh, click the link in his bio, y'all. Bad advice with homie. That's hilarious. Okay, so yes, we were just saying there's lots of discussion around masculinity and what it looks like, what is required to be dominant, alpha. You know, we were just discussing alpha and beta and, you know, what the ladies like. So that's kind of what we're getting into tonight. I think we should try to discuss what it is that we look for as far as a woman is concerned, what it looks like, and then what men see it looking like. Because I've heard men say, this is mixed also. You can't tell us what manhood is. You can't tell us what masculinity is. And I say, okay, you know what? Fair point. Because you can't really tell me what womanhood is or femininity is. But if we're having the conversation about how it plays in relation to the opposite sex, to completely ignore their perspective, whether it be male or female, on how you're presenting what you think it is, you know what I mean? I'm like, are we going to be willfully ignorant to what it is we're trying to attract, just for the sake of saying that's what we're going to do? So let's talk about that. What? First of all, what are the traits? What does it look like to be a man? When you're the man on the panel, Tell me today, what does it from a man who is a solid man, most would say, is a very solid man out here in these streets. What is manhood? What does that look like?
Okay, so manhood is responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Manhood is it's building. Men build.
Mm-hmm.
Men cover.
Mm-hmm.
So build up our community, build up our women, build up our children, cover our women, cover our children, cover our community. Masculinity is at times aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it calls. Sometimes it calls for. So we're confident. We're confident enough that we can make this. We're decisive.
Mm-hmm.
We stand firm in our beliefs, but we don't stand firm in our beliefs to the point that we're not teachable.
Mm-hmm.
And that we're not able to listen. Like masculinity is saying that I'm going to be here to be I'm going to be here to handle what I'm supposed to handle and do what I'm supposed to handle and love who I'm supposed to love to the best of my ability every single day. Like masculinity is that. Masculinity is it's patience. It's patience with it's leadership, because it's also saying that I recognize it as a leader, as a man, that everybody's not going to understand my decisions, but that I've carefully thought through this, and and this is the decision, and I'm just going to be patient enough to wait until everybody else sees what I'm trying to see, or what I already saw. But it's also honest. Like when you don't have an answer, saying, I'm making the best decision I know how to make, and if it's wrong, I'm gonna do the best I can to fix the decision I made. Like that's what masculinity is to me.
Mm-hmm. So I would agree. I agree. And even from the woman's perspective, I think most would agree. Those things definitely hit the bar, as far as what we would consider also being the essence of a man, or what manhood or masculinity would be. So my question now to you also would be, or is, how have we as women contributed to this confusion in this conversation, and how do you feel men have contributed to this conversation?
I don't think women. So I think women contributed to the conversation of what masculinity is not.
Or both, even, because there's a lot of a real man, or the this, the that, and the that we're very proud of our thought process on what men should be and are.
Yeah, I think women have contributed negatively by being immature in what they really wanted, and so when I say immature, I mean in responding to, like, you all have said that you wanted certain things that weren't really what you wanted. And so they might have been covers for what you wanted. They might have been substitutes, for what you really wanted. And so
explain that real quick before we move. What does that mean, or what we really wanted? How we asked for something? Because you mean a collective we, right?
Collective we, yes. Collective. I think so. I think culturally, collectively, we've said that masculinity, for example, is seen in money. Let's use that as an example.
It's seen as what?
Money.
Okay.
And so as a man, we've tried to go out and make money. And so when we made a lot of money, and then you said that's not enough, then it's like, wait, but you said masculinity was money. And now, so I think instead of saying I'm looking for security, and money is a part of security, but because we were young, because you were 17 or 16 or 15, and you saw that security came by power, and that in the culture we live in, power is one way to gain power is through having money, is you thought, well, if I get somebody with money, that means I'll feel safe. And so we're saying, all right, I'm gonna go make a whole bunch of money. And when I have it, now you saying you still don't feel safe. And now you talking about I need to feel safe spiritually. Like what spiritually?
What? Yeah.
Money. I got money.
Yeah. I'm not feeding your spirit. I'm feeding your belly. Yeah.
I think that's a way that women contributed negatively to. And it was, again, I'm being gracious by saying, in some instances, by saying some of it was a lack of maturity and a lack of cultural misunderstanding, because we bought the bullet, we bought the lie of what that was supposed to be. I also think that one of the things that women, and let me also say, if I'm going to get into a socioeconomic part of it, I think especially when you come from a place or a culture or a society or part of society that is poor, that when you live in poverty, a lot of times, or when you deal with poverty problems, and so you feel like when I get out of poverty, or if I can get out of poverty, then I won't have these problems.
Brain problems.
Not recognizing, as was a Biggie says, more money, more problems.
Yep.
So, or more money, different problems, as I would say. So I think that that's a part of how women have. And then I think that as you all have adjusted or matured, you've expected us to mature at the same rate and pace that you have. And that, to me, is not necessarily fair. Because if I've spent my last however many years trying to make money for you, and then all of a sudden, and I'm just throwing out numbers, because you hit 30 and now realize that money isn't the answer, wait a minute, now I got a hard stop and try to figure out how to do all this other stuff that I never in my mind figured was something that I had to do. Like I never figured that I had to learn how to listen to you talk about your problems without solving your problems, or had to be somebody who emotionally was there for you and spiritually fed you and led our family. That's not what I was raised. I just thought, just make money and you would be happy. Men, how do I think men have messed this up or have negative? I think as a man, we've contributed negatively by I'm gonna say it, by assuming that in America, specifically black men in America, have assumed that because we saw white people do it and white men specifically do it, that it was something that we wanted and should have in our community. We saw that the way that we perceive white men were treated, and thought that if we did what they did, that it would get us what they got. Not realizing that in doing that, we were in some parts abandoning the core culture of who we are, and that we've never been a culture that did not heavily rely on the wisdom of our women. It's just not where we come from. So we don't come from a culture who says that our women are not valued. We don't come from a culture and from a people who don't listen to our women. We do come from a culture that believes in order, but order for us does not look like indentured servitude and you can't talk. Right. That's their business. That ain't our stuff. So I think we've bought into that in this society and decided that we want to be what they are when what they're doing is wrong, and we don't recognize that it's wrong. I think the other things that we've done wrong is I think that we've bought instead of leading, we've really been trying to follow. A lot of times what we as men have been doing is trying to do the thing that we could do to get sex from the woman that we want or the attention of the woman that we want. And so instead of doing that, instead of leading and being who we were and letting it come to us, we did what we did to try to get to come to you all. And I don't think that was right. What I mean by that is, going back to the same example, instead of saying, no, I'm not going to chase the position just because of the monetary salary, I'm going to chase this because I understand that this is what I was positioned to do in the earth, and that from that I can make more money, but I'm not going to choose a career just because this is the career that's going to get me the six figures, which puts me in a position that you're going to want me and I'm going to look at you on the television. So I think our mistake was not being the leader that we desired to be up front, or that we are up front. We just said, she want the basketball player, I'm going to be the basketball player. She want the football player, I'm going to try to be a football player. She don't want no plumber. Women don't want plumbers. So I'm not going to be a plumber. And so now we got a shortage of plumbers.
Yeah.
And now the plumbers is making more than some of the white collar positions. So I think that's a part to me where we mess up, is that we have not led. We stopped leading. And some of it is because we didn't know how. Again, once it became more than money, a lot of us don't know how. And we didn't do the homework to figure it out. We just said, we're going to be here. This is what we've always done. So we're going to continue to do it. And y'all just going to have to just accept us for being the man we are. Meanwhile, our woman is saying, no, I need something different. Like, I don't need you just to make six figures. I need you. I need your presence, not your presence.
Right.
And we haven't necessarily, figured that part out.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you got to that point. And thank you very much for that very thoughtful and thorough answer. You put your Dre hat back on for me real quick, so I appreciate that. So I'm glad that you ended with that final piece of the whole we're asking for something different, because in the beginning of what you said, you as far as one of the negatives for women, you mentioned that we expected you all to advance at the same rate that we did. And to a certain extent, I think I kind of disagree or kind of want to push back a little bit, because I think when you speak to, this has happened a lot more with, I think, our age group than anything. We've had so much more advancement within this group, our demo, it seems. So I'm going to speak more to us, but it seems like I remember even back in high school having these types of conversations about what it looked like, what adulthood looked like, what handling your business looked like. You know what I mean? So like, we've had these back and forth conversations for a long time. Oprah and all of them got famous on the elevation, the transformation, the re-education of, you know what I mean? So I think it was when you said, this is what we're going to do. Like, there's been kind of a, no, this is what we do. We provide money. You're going to love this money. And then that's that. But when it took, by and large, for women to finally say, you know, we've been saying this, we've been doing these things, and there are some folks who've done it. So now we're going to go deal with these people who've done these things. And if you don't want to do these things, we're fine. Go be over there. You know what I mean? So this is what the men we like look like, do, pursue, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? But because I think because there is still such a smaller amount of number of men who have chosen to do that, it looks like, again, all of this is appearances. You know what I mean? All of these discussions that we have look like, well, we think women we think they need a man that, you know what I mean? It's always what we think. And it always boils down to what it presents as. So, and now it seems like the men who decided to bear down and say, no, I don't want to do that. Money is all I'm going to provide. Now it's like, you're mad, but we've been telling you. So it's like, none of these things are new. None of these things are new. I just think it feels new because we're looking at it so often. And there are all these examples, because you see the woman with the 5 degrees. You see the woman with the opening the businesses and got it all. You know how long it takes to acquire 5 degrees? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like 1 degree, but let alone multiple degrees. So, you know, so like, this isn't just an overnight boom. Now all of a sudden, all the women want these super evolved, spiritually competent, gonna pray and meditate over you, as it got all the chakras aligned and can give you the, like, that's not that's not, I don't, you know. So there's a
when you say, let me for perspective, when you say this is not new, guesstimate how, when you say like last 10 years, give me a number.
I will be conservative and say the last 10 years, because we're in 2021. You know what I mean?
I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's a decade of time.
Yeah, and it is a decade of time. I'm not saying that's not. I think that, but it's a decade of time against 3 decades of moving in one direction.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's where the. But nevertheless, keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, we're having a conversation. You're good. You're good. It's just, I just think that, you know, we really don't like to have, like, I'll put it this way. There were women around during that same 300 years or whatever, however long that we're going to say we don't know, the women were there not knowing that same amount of time. So at some point, if the women have decided, you know what, I think I'm going to find some energy, some courage, some desire to do something different, because this isn't working as well as we thought it was. So let's go try these things. And if they have the courage, even over the last 10 years, to try, why are they the only ones that are willing to try? Why is there so much pushback for the try? You know what I mean? And from the people who are supposed to be the leaders. So I think that's kind of where I think women have a room. They do have space for conversation in this question. I think there is a room at the table for women for this masculinity conversation. The same way I feel men have room at the table for what femininity presents as. They balance one another. You know what I mean? So like, it's like, if all these men dig down and say, nope, all I'm providing is money, and the women say, I don't just want money no more. I make money. What are you going to do? What are we going to do? You know what I mean? Like, what are we really going to do?
Right.
So
I agree.
Yeah. So I think we need to have this conversation, but it doesn't need to just be about men or just about women.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So I agree. I think that it's really what you just said. Like it's a way to figure out what this balance currently looks like, because the way it's presented now, I think a lot of times it's not balanced, which is why, again, let's go back to the last discussion, why I said that both of these two gentlemen who are gurus are problematic, because neither of them really framed the discussion in a way that is balanced, or in a way that says, listen, we're not taking a full listen as to what the other person is saying that they're really needing.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, you have a woman who is saying, I need security. And on the other hand, you have a man that says, I want honor. And so to dismiss either one of those in any type of, in any setting, only further changes the pendulum in one area, to where now we're saying, no, I don't have to honor you because I'm high value, or you don't deserve honor because I'm high value, or it's always your fault as the man. So you just need to get yourself together. Does not bring any type of balance, or really brings any type of unity to the discussion. So I think it's more so, okay, listen, I now recognize as a man that you need more from me than money. That you need, you need my presence in terms of emotional, my emotional presence. You need my physical presence. You need my, you do want my financial presence. Like, let's not say we don't need money. Need for money, but but that's not all you need from me. So what does that look like to you as a woman? Because these are the things that I'm doing right now that I think fit what you're trying to say or what you're asking me for, but you don't seem to be receiving what I am doing as that. You're telling me I'm controlling. You're telling me I'm not doing too much. You're telling me so how do I navigate this if I believe that I'm leading you? Like, what does it look like to you then? What is my masculinity look like to you?
Yep. Yeah, it does. We have to, and women can do a much better job at how we communicate the changes, the differences. Our examples could be more clear as far as, and more realistic. You know what I mean? And like, I'm willing to admit that we are very good with ideals and fantasies and what things, pretty pictures. We love pretty pictures. We like to say men are very visual, but we will create some amazing images of what things should be in our visual, in our mental. So we have to own that and recognize that men are very tangible and say those things in a way that they can reach out and touch. I get that. I do get that. I would agree with that. I just wonder. I think we all recognize that there needs to be some type of change that happens within our existence, just in general, not necessarily our just not solely our relationships, just in how we exist in the world and how that bounces off the other people that we're relating and existing with. You know what I mean? And I think that's where this conversation gets even deeper, outside of how we are in romantic relationships with each other. We talk about safety and community and shelter within our in our community. Like, If in any movie that we've ever seen where there's a tribe or a village and something goes down, everyone has a role that they play. There's a certain trust that they have, even with folks that are just in the community with them. If there's no understanding among the people in the community is going to burn. That tribe would never get to the resting place, the safe place, or the whatever. The mothers would never be able to get all the babies here. You know what I mean? So I just think to myself, if we don't understand what it takes for the other people to trust, to believe in, to rally around, to want to provide care for, you know what I mean? Those things require trust. And if I'm telling you these things help me trust you more, and men are saying these things help soften me more to be willing to show you, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why we're so hard pressed to say, no, I don't want to do that. But then at the same time, we yell just as loud to say we need change. You know?
Yeah. I think it goes back to what we said before. We are all so defensive right now that the idea of hearing that I need something different from you, it almost is received as us saying there's something wrong with you.
Does correction mean consequence?
It can, but it
does it, like, in
consequence isn't always a bad thing.
But I mean, when we hear consequence, though, like, rarely are we thinking
punishment,
the levels to, but it seems like whenever we say, let's try it this way, you're you know, and that's men and women. You can't tell me you don't like a thing without it being the most terrible thing.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a punishment.
We hear again, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
We literally we hear, I'm not good enough. What I'm doing is not good enough. You don't appreciate what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's not necessarily what's being said. It's literally just saying that there's a better way to do something. Mm-hmm. Like, or there's a way that the way I receive this is not the way that you intend this. Yeah. Like, it's not, and really the consequence in this instance is it's a good consequence. Like, the consequence is typically if your partner sees you're trying to do something for them that you've said, like, which is one of the part of the frustration. Alyssa, that's good. Which is part of the frustration I think that men also see when we hear, like, if again, a lot of us, we hear do this different as we haven't already been trying, and because typically I'm not gonna blame, but typically these kinds of conversations don't happen until we're angry. Mm-hmm. Or then all of a sudden it's like, now wait a minute, so I've been doing this all this time this way, and you haven't shown me much reciprocation or before, so now you're asking me to change something, and you haven't like been appreciative of what I've been doing already. Yeah. So why is it that why would I be happy or exuberant to change something when I've been doing this thinking that this is what you wanted all this time, and you haven't responded? And then when I change, there's a part of the pop of our community that's going to be like, well, I'm still not going to do it because you got to prove it to me over time. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, what we're not like seeking the opportunity to really help each other want to continue to grow with one another, or to change, or to sacrifice, or anything. Like, we're literally breeding selfishness amongst ourselves by saying you got to do it this way or else.
This one is rough. And this is just such a tricky time. It's a important time to be this age and able to identify with so much of what's going on. But like, how does this shift? What is it going to take for us to shift this? For us to, you know what I mean? Like, because there's always something new. There are new influences to each level of this conversation on a regular basis. That is one of our access issues. It's so fast. It doesn't have enough. We don't have enough time to really fact check or marinate or, you know what I mean, really process things before we start taking action. So like, I just really wonder, especially now when it's so important that we be together, what is it going to take for us to see each other, to really and listen to each other? I think any level of adulthood, whether you're a woman or a man, if you're really winning at it, you are at a level of learning. You are teachable and you can teach. And you know when to do both.
But here,
You cannot, rarely can you do them both at the same time.
so let me
You know?
let me so but this is now tie this back to the idea that as an alpha male, I'm
Mhm.
not supposed to do that. As an alpha male, I'm supposed to be teaching all the time. I'm supposed to be the one. So the problem where a lot of us as men where we're burning out and tired and frustrated
Yeah.
because we don't all often take the time or the space to say, I need help. I
Mhm.
don't know how to be a man all the time. I don't know how to be, excuse me, I don't know how to be a husband. I don't know how to be a father. I don't know how to be whatever you do vocationally all the time. And so that space to say, I'm still trying to figure it out, is either not there or we don't give ourselves that. And we don't often have or put ourselves in position to have the mentors to kind of walk us through that, because a lot of our mentors, let's be honest, are still in that old way. So it's very difficult for me, for men to go to mentors when all they say is just shut up and do as she say, or or just go and make some money and you'll be fine. Like none of that really works for us. You know what I mean? It's like that's not what she wants. She don't want me to shut up and just do what she say.
Mhm.
She wants me to engage,
Mhm.
and so I can't just do that. So
Because I was gonna say, as far as the whole, I gotta be the alpha, I gotta be the educator. I was getting ready to say, like, where are the examples that that's worked? It's hard to.
everywhere, it's the perception.
There you go. The
Work
perception.
is
And
everywhere.
that's what stopped me from saying it. As my point was, well, we don't talk about the things that really happened and what we really feel and how they didn't really work out the way. You know what I mean? We don't talk about that. So the perception has allowed itself. We've allowed it to become the reality. And now, when this time it was in this particular instance, it's more or less women that have been like, nah, that's not the reality that we're not even gonna let people think is the reality anymore. And now it's like, wait, but I like this perception. This perception works for me. So I see why there's pushback, but at the other side of that, like there's rest on the other side of that. There's assistance.
That's what we want. That's
Yeah, like I don't understand. Like there's that's good stuff on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And that's what I think women have been trying to also share. Like no one's trying to take anything from the man. If anything, like why is that so hard? You want us to share all of the other things, but when it comes to sharing some of your load, because that is what emotions have been what has been holding a lot of men. That stuff, not having anywhere to put any of that or anywhere to go with any of that, has been what we've seen tear down so many men to keep them from being the leaders and able to go and be successful doing all the other stuff that you say you want to do. You know what I mean? So if we're saying this can help, it's like, why we got to fight you to just help you? It's just, that's what's so hard.
I am a good man if I can carry everybody's load.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a huge lie, and it's why we break down. Excuse me, but it is a lie. But the reality is, most of us feel like I'm supposed to carry this because this is what men do. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to feel overworked. I'm supposed to feel overwhelmed because that just means I'm a good man.
You're a tired man.
I can handle it. I can do it. Don't worry about it. Mm-mm. And then when we start to break, then we're wondering why. Not an excuse. Not anything.
Just how it happens.
But I was gonna say, but the majority of the unhealthy habits of men come from carrying emotional weight that we are not supposed to be carrying.
Mm-hmm. No debate for me on that.
And so again, it's not an excuse for the unhealthy habits, but it's the reality. Is that because we don't know how to emotionally unload the stress, the baggage, or say no more stress or baggage, or take off the stress or baggage, most of us are walking around trying to help and solve and fix crap that ain't even ours to be worried about.
And you know what's so crazy? Women have been we've been role playing with each other on how to help fix y'all. Like, we need you guys so much as a part of the process of all the stuff that we've been doing. That's why men be like, yeah, but you still mean as hell. You've been in therapy for all this time, but you still mean. You know what I mean? You've been balancing chakras, but you still eat. You know what I mean? You talk crazy to me. It's because we have literally been talking to each other, because there's been, and this is not blaming, this is just reality. Okay, like, this is just, when we decided we need help, we got to get healthy, we got to tune in, we need to learn a better way. I'm talking crazy. People do not like talking to me because I talk crazy to people. I should learn to fix that. You know who we do? We go and role play those things that we learn with other women who also talk crazy. So even when we make a little bit of what we feel is effort and is a little nicer than what it was before to another woman, oh, girl, you did that. Yes. Yeah, we healing. Yes. And then as soon as we get out and play what we play with our homegirl, who's also not there yet, what a man, and it's like, womp, womp, no, no, no. You know, that is not what you do. Record scratch. And then we're like, but we're trying. We're doing all the things. And you're like, but it's not working. But who do we work those things out on? And so I'm like, this is going to be a team effort. You need the emotional release. We got the tools. We just need practice, like real world practice, not the people that we pay. You know?
But that's what I think. But I think that's like coming into a discussion with that like level of, okay, this is what I'm about to try to do. I'm trying to do. If it don't land like that, that's, I mean, like, there's a level of I'm not gonna use the word humility, but vulnerability. Vulnerability from to hear you say that as a man, and then when you say something like, yeah, that didn't land well, and instead of getting an attitude and going, well, I tried, like, you know what? Okay, how would you have, like, how could that have sounded better? And then us trying to figure out, like, it's that patience with one another that I've been saying, like, we just don't give each other that level of grace and that level of mercy to say, all right, I see your effort. I see what you tried, because I know what, because you know what? Last time you'd have cussed me out, and you didn't cuss me out this time. I see you trying.
That is progress.
That's progress. You didn't cuss this time. I mean, but that's what we got to do.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. I appreciate that effort. I appreciate that. No, that wasn't it. Okay. What can you say it like? Can you just say like this next time? Oh, okay. That's cool. That's what I needed. And I think that's difficult to do, again, when you're dealing with two people who are defensive and who are both wounded. And when I say wounded, I want to say, like, wounded to the point where we're walking around with multiple cuts that are bleeding, and we're sitting here saying, give me patience because I'm about to cut you again. But I'm not trying to. Yeah, I get the difference.
It's just all I know how to do.
Yeah, but this is what I know how to do, and that's necessary because I think we have to realize we're cutting y'all, and y'all got to realize that y'all are cutting us. But I think what you said earlier is what every man needs to remember and hear. Women want masculine men. Women want men. Like, they're not trying to get rid of us. They're not trying to make us women. They're not trying to make us like into their girlfriend. They got that. They're not trying to. They're in
abundance.
They're not trying to make. They really want men. Like, and I'll use they want, like, they don't want tamed men. They want mature men.
Mature men.
Like, be mature enough to say, you know, I got this. Which is why this video. Let me touch this video.
Please, because I just laughed at it. So yeah,
like his point. The point in the video, he's absolutely right in that women. Not that women want a man who could dominate them. Women don't want men who could dominate them. Men don't want women who they could dominate. Women want men. The examples he gave an example of an assertive man. Women want that. By the way, also, there's nothing non-assertive by saying, can you get me a glass of water? That was horrible.
His examples were trash.
That was a horrible example. You can say, can you get me a glass of water and still be assertive? Let me just put it out there. his other example of the
Tacos.
tacos. Women want a decisive man.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, every woman wants a decisive man. The problem with his example was because most of us like tacos, we're cool. Like if she like our tacos, it's tacos. I like tacos. I go with tacos. But if you say, let's go get Chinese, and she's allergic to Chinese, and she says, well, I don't want Chinese, and you say, well, go put your shoes on, we're going to get Chinese. Now all of a sudden, that's not decisive.
Nope. Or if you order for me and I told you explicitly I don't want you to order for me at a restaurant.
Yeah,
don't decide that for me.
That's not decisive.
Yeah.
Now, had in that discussion, had he have said, "Hey, we going out to dinner tonight. Where do you want to go?" And she says, "Oh, I don't know." And he says, "Okay, well then let's go get tacos." Like that beginning part of asking, like, "You got taste for anything tonight? You want, what do you want?" "Oh, no, I don't know." "Okay, fine. We're gonna have tacos."
Or we can go here or here. Pick one.
Yeah, that's decisive.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to get tacos, and she has no say so or anything. To me, that's not decisive. That is actually just weird. That's darn near controlling, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and then his third one with the checking bratty behavior. A woman does at times want a man who understands when to say, "Baby, you're doing too much. Be cool."
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But to check her as like she is a brat is only something that an immature and trauma-laced woman wants, because she only knows how to be checked by her daddy or by some other person who has probably, if they haven't, borderline abused her. Y'all don't want that. So again, there's nothing wrong with assertiveness. There's nothing wrong with decisiveness. There's nothing wrong with standing up for yourself and not allowing just anything in your environment. Those are fine. But we are not to dominate women. We are to dominate the environment around our woman. We're to dominate, everything. But you're not. This is a person. I'm not here. You're not. Why would you dominate a person whose input and wisdom you need and are supposed to value, and who is supposed to become the person who has your back?
Your partner.
You don't even want to dominate your children. Let me just throw, you don't even dominate children. What are we doing?
Dominate sounds like fear to me. You know what I mean? And I would never want my spouse to fear me. If I would hope as a man, I would never want my woman to fear me. I would never want that to be an emotion attached to my love for someone that's in my life. Not my children, not for anybody. So I don't understand how that's even as an attention grabber for screen time. Like, who are you really attracting with this advice?
Respect me, honor me, love me. We will protect, like, you know what I mean? But dominate?
No. And those are the types of things that that's where we are identifying what we feel is masculine, what it is and what isn't. Like so many other conversations that get misconstrued, when women discuss what masculine, we are very clear at saying what it isn't. We're willing to discuss what it is. I think we're more than willing to have the discussion with men as far as understanding where you all come from, as far as, okay, when we say this is what we mean by this. This means in this situation, it's my job to show up like this and do these things. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would want you to do that. That makes sense. That would be the response that I would want from the men in this situation to do. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. But when we are saying this right here, these things, yeah, stop doing those things. This is ugly. This does not make any respect. This doesn't make me want to do what you say, none of those things. And for them to hear, no, but this is what we do. You just got to get with it. Or you can go be by yourself. Women are going to go, okay, I'll go be by myself. You know what I mean? So it's like,
it's borderline abusive.
It is. Yeah. And when men say, hey, ladies, these things right here, don't really dig these things right here. Can we get some adjustments on these things right here? Because this doesn't make me feel like I want to do all those things you just said I need to be doing to make you feel all warm and fuzzy. That doesn't activate this in me. We can't then be like, do you know how long I had to do it by myself with my girl? Shut up. You're not no more. Okay. You don't anymore. We're here now. We're trying. Can you tone that down a notch, please, sis? Okay. Thanks. Like, that's the type of conversations that I think we should be able to have. I understand. I recognize that, sir, ma'ams. I get it. Okay. It was there. We identify that. We know we need to do better now. Can we do better now? Is that okay? We good? Can we do better now? Like, that's what I think we need to be able to do. But we just so stuck on who had it worse and for how long and why you still got to deal with my ish because I did that.
Look, can we settle this?
Yeah. Yes.
We all had it bad.
Everybody.
We've all had it equally bad.
Bad.
There is no worse. It's all been bad. It's all been bad. If for melanated people in this country, it's been bad since 1619 for every last one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's settle that.
Yep.
Now that we done settled it, let's also say it's been so bad that the only way, and it's so bad that the only way it's ever going to get fixed is if we fix it together. If we fix us together.
Yep.
So help me, and I'm gonna help you. If I do something wrong, or say something, or do something that is harmful to you, or you don't understand, just tell me.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gotta go off on me. You ain't gotta, withhold from me. You ain't gotta talk crazy. Just say, hey, when you do that right there, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be like, that? This was
Mm-hmm.
my intention was da 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 da.
Okay.
How did you take that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that wasn't my intention. All right, let's. How can I do that better? And vice versa. When she do something you don't like, hey, when you do that, this is how they make. I don't like that. You might not be able to, even if you can't say I don't like that. It does this.
Yep.
Okay, that wasn't my intention. How can I do that better? Like this. Da 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 da. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, give them a chance to get it right.
Yeah.
Hey, remember we talked about this yesterday, and you said, "My bad, I forgot." Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's to me is the essence of how you repair this breach. And then again, and be careful. Like, I think we got to also add, we have to be careful that every person you are talking to, every person you're in relationship with, every person who you are partnering with is literally presenting him or herself with wounds.
Yep.
So you got to say, so as much healing as we want to say that we've been to or through, we are all wounded.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference is, now I'll say this, the healing, that work that we have done, most of us has done, has been external. Now it's time to turn that joker inside and deal with some of these internal and psychological wounds that are there that we can't see. And we think because we have nice jobs and degrees,
other people,
nice houses, that we're good. No, that's not how we're hurt to the soul, and we need to start fixing the soul.
We came here with trauma in our DNA. You know what I mean? So, like, the sheer arrogance that we have because we feel we're educated now, that's what it is. It's like we are denying what is what it is. It just is what it is. And we are really squandering the opportunity that we have being the humans here with this access, with this opportunity to actually fix it for the future. We've got it. We've got the tools, but we're still fighting what's inside of us. So that's why there's grace. What is it? Demetria Lucas always says is there's grace for those who seek it. You know what I mean? And that includes us, like within our own communities and with each other. If you are willing to be vulnerable with each other, if we're willing to say, you know what? I've not done my best job at being a sister, at being a brother, at being a friend, at being a part of this community, whatever that community might be. And the other people can say that too. And we both stand here and say, you know what, but we can fix it. Like, we got time. We can figure it out, and commit to doing that over and over and over again when you mess it up. Just like what you said, that is a commitment. Those are the commitments that are worth fighting for. The ones that are like, you know what, I'm going to commit to keep trying every time.
And you know what? And I'll add to that. I agree with you. Add to that. And if there's someone who is around you that refuses to commit to it, leave alone.
Yep. Yep.
Like don't spend the energy and time trying to conform them, trying to fix them, you know what I mean? Like just move around them. Let them go. They'll either come around later or they won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just don't have like we want them, but you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying they need to go to the sunken place.
Right.
Where they are, let them
But
stay.
we can't sink trying to save you. That's not how this works.
Can't save who don't want to be saved.
Yeah.
And any lifeguard will tell you, they'll tell you after you try to save somebody, it comes to a point where you got to let them go because either both of y'all either both die or they die.
Yep. In any new wave, there are early adopters and then there are late bloomers. In any new wave, there's folks that's gonna be right on the forefront of it and they're the pioneers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They'll bring the others along.
I just need brothers to know, like we need it. Like we need each other. And women need us. Like our community needs us, and not just needs, like wants us.
Yes, there's a desire there. There's not just servitude. It's not just your labor, your work. It's you.
They want us, man.
It's you. Yeah.
All of us. They want your friendship, your partnership. Like every part of us is wanted and needed. And again, and I'm not suggesting that it's always expressed in the best way, but I can promise you they want us. Like to the point where they are now getting angry about, like, just in case we haven't figured out, like when women get loud and angry and indignant and like that's
it's frustrating.
Frustration.
Mm-hmm.
That's not like anger that I'm mad at you. That's frustration that I'm trying to get you to see that I really want you. That's, hey, pay attention. That's what that's saying. That's saying that as a man, you are so needed that I'm going to shout as loud as I can to get your attention. And that's what they're trying to tell us.
Yep. Because if we didn't care, we'd get quiet. When we stop talking, when women stop talking, is when you should really be worried.
It's over. It's over.
Yep. Yep. Because it is really collectively and not just romantically, because we got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. Our babies are dying. These bills are being passed. You know what I mean? This country is changing. We got too much to do to still be fighting back and forth about what this looks like.
You know what's so funny?
It's too much to do.
What's so funny? Let me say this, and we gotta go. They want us so bad. They want us so bad that they are willing, not all, but a lot of women are willing to take, like, the part, like those of us who are like, I ain't gonna say that, like, they're willing to put up with some of our crap. Like, all right, you ain't perfect. Okay, you ain't all there. Cool. Like,
because we know there's been struggle, there's trauma there. Like, we've all been through it. Like what we said earlier.
And I guess the frustration for me is the recognition again that we don't see that. That's my frustration. Like, we're fighting women who want us. Like, why are you fighting? She actually likes you.
I think you see it. You just can't say it. And if you were to not even say it but try and act on it, it's gonna be like, it's crazy. Admitting that I need you, even in like it's the again the show. It's the show. It's the show.
All right, we gotta go.
Because the show is over.
Yeah.
This one was a good one. This is a much needed conversation. We need more of this conversation. These are good open forum conversations. Those get in the room and talk it out.
Yeah, we need it. We need to, because we can't keep going like this. That's for sure.
Nah, as they say.
All right.
Juneteenth is this weekend.
Yeah, Father's Day.
And Father's Day, yeah.
Yep. So happy Father's Day. Yeah. What you
You
got?
guys be safe. Stay hydrated. It's gonna be hot this weekend. Super hot. Like the summer is here in Oklahoma City. We were just complaining about the rain for like 30 days and 30 nights, it felt like. But the heat is here, okay? It is officially summertime in Oklahoma City. So please stay hydrated this weekend as you're hitting all of the spots and doing all of the things and being around all of the people. Please wear your mask, have your mask with you if necessary. And y'all know what necessary is. And stay hydrated, please. No fallouts. You don't want to be in these emergency rooms right now behind no heat.
Happy Father's Day. I specifically want to say it to Senior Burns.
My daddy too. Keith Turner.
Yeah, I appreciate you, my dude, for
and Lynn again.
Yeah, for everything you taught and everything, every good example and bad example that you have expressed. The thing I enjoy most about my father is
bad example.
He is, yeah, because he's really like his bad stuff. He tell like we talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was bad. Don't do that. You know, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that we have that type of relationship where we can do it and where he can talk and I can listen. I can listen.
Yep.
So, because I know I am privileged. Like there are a lot of young men who don't have what I have, and so I'm grateful for it. Because I would not be where I am if it were not for him. I would not be there. So I'm not that smart.
So you're gonna learn from them past mistakes, huh? Take them L's and make them lessons and keep them
learning. So I appreciate it. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers who are
Drake.
Drake. Oh yeah, what's up, brother? Happy Father's Day to you, my man. I've got some phenomenal fathers in my circle, and so all of you all, happy Father's Day. I learn from them. So I will say that I learned from them. Dre, Terry, Clay, I learned from Rasheem. Like I learned from my guys in my age group and the guys like my dad. So I appreciate all of you. That's all I got. You got anything?
Have a great weekend and enjoy the rest of your week.
Oh, get my book. If y'all ain't got my book.
Oh, yeah.
Get my book.
Goodbye.
Get my book. Ooh, I'm hot.
I know. Should have had baby boy hit that button. You should have been telling
my mother to comment before the last. My mother be just sliding in.
She does. She's like a ninja with it. I forget that she's here.
Sliding in.
She'll send you her notes after the show.
Love you, mama.
And would you take this long, sweet road and pull it together, baby? If this is goodbye, I want one last try. You just can't give up. Can't you see the tears in my eyes? 'Cause I'm gonna try, baby, and treat you right. Just give me one more try. If this is goodbye,
Going to bed.
Good night.